Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Amena. We've got another socialscale.net masterclass in social branding today. Today we're going to focus on the different types of content that you can post on your page and how to make more money doing what you're already doing on your page. So this is going to be a super exciting live. Make sure you take notes throughout the live, or make sure you save this to come back later. Share it to your network so they can also benefit from this as well. And if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So again, at any time you can go here for additional information, but today we're going to be talking about social media and how to scale, how to brand yourself, how to really stand out in your industry. Okay, so I got my notes here. The first thing is before we get into my notes and everything else, I always like to start with 3 questions, okay? So the first question we're gonna ask, and you're gonna ask yourself this, because this is gonna really determine the type of content that you're putting out every day, and this is going to really speed up the process of getting you the results that you're ultimately looking for. If that's just growing an audience, or it's really just developing your lifestyle into the next stage of life. Okay, so the first one's first. Who are you? Okay, and I love this question. I ask myself, who am I every day, pretty much nowadays, especially as my kids are getting older and we're going through a new season of life. The same old things don't apply anymore. We're not doing the Girl Scouts. We're not doing the museum trips to the Children's Museum and the Science Museum anymore. I miss those times, yes, and I wish we could go on literally forever, but we're in a new stage of life. My children are actively building with me, they're learning with me, and we're all growing into this new stage together. So I constantly have to ask myself, who am I in this stage? You know, what are my values? What are my morals? What is the things that's driving me to the next 5, 10 years? So it's always good to ask, who are you? Like, what stage of life are you in? What are you looking to do every day to actually keep going, right? Okay, so who are you? It's a great one. Next one is, where would I like to be in the next 5 to 10 years? Okay, if money wasn't an objection, if place or connections wasn't a worry, where would you love to be in the next 5 to 10 years, okay? 5 to 10 years could be absolutely huge for various reasons. Maybe if you're in your early 20s, 5 to 10 years, you might want to get married and have kids. In 5 to 10 years in your 30s, you might want to start at the bottom of a new career and grow it up into something massive. In 5 to 10 years in your 40s, you are coming through the transition possibly of your kids turning into teenagers and dealing with new types of challenges when it comes to dating and jobs and even getting ready for that empty nest syndrome in the next 10 to 15 years, right? So even in your 50s, what challenges and what things could be coming in the next 5 years? You might be looking at your first grandkid. You know, you might actually get laid off of a job that you've been in the last 20 years. So things can happen over the next 5 to 10 years, but the best way to decide your life and what happens in your life is make those decisions for yourself. Circumstances are always going to come up. Challenges are always going to come up. There's always going to be something unexpected around the corner. But if you decide today what you want your next 5 to 10 years, then every day you can start making decisions to get there. And that's really important when you're building your personal brand and really building that content now. Because everything that you're building now compounds over the next few years. That's going to help amplify your message and your results to get there. Okay? So next question here. Let's see, what do we got? We got, who are you? Where would you like to be in the next 5, 10 years? And does my industry, I can't spell that, did I? Industry support the income I need to live the life I want? Another very, very important question, because I know everybody has to realize at one point in their life that the thing they've been investing in all this time might not essentially have the money that you need to ultimately get where you want to go in the next 5 to 10 years. And we have to be real with this. We have to look at where the state of things are right now, what industries are really scaling fast, and which ones are slowing down. So for example, right now we know that AI, automations, and of course tech in general, right? Anything tech. Okay, we know AI, automations, and tech is pretty much scaling tremendously right now, right? We know that those are the top of quickest growing industries right now. So, you know, if I'm looking to have an income that's going to support me, you know, maybe I want to get in something that's really blowing up, that people are investing in. Now, there's a right way to do this and a wrong way to do this in every single industry. Because when you essentially start something, say, even as this example, AI, automation, or some type of tech, you know, you might not see profits until 5 to 10 years from now, okay? But something, say, in like retail, you know, we could say, you know, retail, we'll just go with digital courses, okay? We'll just go with those two. Like retail, when I mean like you sell a product, okay? So retail and digital courses, that can essentially make money now, right? There's money in those industries that people are actively buying. Everybody's buying something. Everybody's buying stuff for their home, they're buying a course. But again, you want to identify an industry that supports that. And then you're going to dig into it further. These are just generic, general, broad topics. But this just gives you some kind of idea of what I'm kind of like narrowing it down into a bit. And then you would narrow that even further into, okay, what niche? You know, and we'll go over niches here in a bit. But yeah, so this is very important. So who are you? And where would you like to be in the next 5 to 10 years? And of course, narrow it down to an industry that can support where you want to go, okay? And this is what's really good about getting books, getting mentorship, seeing what other people that you admire, what type of lifestyle they're living, because that's really going to help you kind of determine, okay, I want a life like that. I want to build something like that. And it will at least inspire you, nevertheless, okay? All right, so we're going to go ahead and erase this. I'm going to look at my notes real fast because I want to make sure that there's nothing I want to cover before we go into the next thing. Okay. All right, no. Okay, so one more thing, or two more things I want to cover. Okay, niche. And let me see if I want to, okay, yeah, let's cover that too. Okay, two more things I want to cover before we move on to the next thing that I definitely want to get to this evening. So niche and trust, okay? So we're going to say niche and trust. Okay, so first things first. When we talked about the AI, the automations, the retail, and all that stuff just a little while ago, you know, that was broad. I was saying, you know, that is like everybody, right? Okay. And so when I talk about broad, you know, and everybody, we need to find a niche within that, right? So we need to identify a subsection of a group of people that is going to be able to better focus on and build your content around. This builds trust a lot faster, okay? Each one of these build trust a lot faster than it would be everybody. Because you're not only making content to go out just into your local town, you're making content essentially that goes out to the global world. You can essentially niche it down to your local area. And that, again, is niching down. So you could just say, okay, you live in a local town, right? Like Buffalo, New York, okay? How do you spell Buffalo? I can't think of how to spell Buffalo now.
It's an I, at least.
Olo? Is it U-L-O? Buffalo? Or am I missing a letter? I feel like I'm missing something.
Buff, A-L-O.
A-L-O? Okay, it's an A. That's what it is. Okay, so say like Buffalo, New York, okay? So that would be a sub-niche, okay? Of course, if it's a sub niche like Buffalo, New York, and say that you are, let's think of a type of business. Name me a business, Ivan.
Just any business?
Yeah, any business. Whatever comes to your mind.
Mattress store.
A mattress store. That's a good one. Okay, so say you're a mattress store. Okay, so you're a mattress store owner. Mattress. I think every town has a mattress store. So that's a really good one. We haven't covered that one. Okay, so we got a mattress store, and it's in Buffalo, New York. That is niches, okay? A mattress store is much smaller than a furniture store, okay? Because you could have, say your niche is like a furniture store owner. That's your whole niche, right? So you're a furniture store owner, so obviously you sell furniture. Well, to niche it down, you could be in Buffalo, New York. You could focus just on mattresses, right? Okay, well, let's niche it further. So say you specialize in luxury mattresses, okay? We can niche that further. What's your top seller? Well, say that you want to get the top of the top price point, right? So you're going to focus on California King and King. Okay? So that is what you like selling. You enjoy selling that. You make a big profit. Now see how you're niching down? So this is good to do too. You could just do like a chart like this, and this is going to help you build your niche even like narrower. That's going to help you with your content too, because each one of these can be another piece of content that you talk about. We identified exactly the niche, and now we're moving into that trust, all right? Every piece of content slowly builds that trust over time. Okay, so what does trust look like? Right, so this is how exactly it works on social media, okay? We're going to call this the trust funnel. Exactly how this works. First, you make the content and it goes out to the World Wide Web, right? It goes on social media, it goes on the Googles of the world, all right? So it goes just out, right? This is the global reach. Okay, so it just goes out to everybody. Also, it's called impressions. There's your impressions, okay? That's the people that are scrolling by. That's how many people scrolled by it and saw it. What do we have after that? Okay, then we have the people that actually stay on your content and watch it for a few seconds. Those are people that are your viewers, right? They're called audience. They have all different types of names, okay? So those are the people that is your reach. Then what we got? Okay, after that, now you have your followers, okay? So the people that was like, okay, I saw enough information, or I saw one that really spoke to me. So I hit that follow button. I want to see more of their stuff. So at this point, it doesn't mean they went to your page, okay? At this point, they just press the button. They're like, okay, I want to see what this person's about. So after you got followers, you got people that are actually, looking at your page, right? This could essentially be people that contact you, right? So they can DM you. They can visit your website. They're interacting now with your content, okay? This is what we would call in a regular sales funnel a warm lead. And this all would be a cold lead. Okay, so if you're used to the terminology, sales funnels, that's where you're at in the process. Another type of warm lead is when they do actually buy something, but it's something small or it's free, right? They do a download. So maybe you have a piece of content they can download, like a PDF, like a coupon for your business, or it could be they enter into a giveaway by giving you their name and phone number. Either way, it's a transaction. It's a small transaction, okay? So again, it could be a download, it could be anything that they're exchanging, you're exchanging, okay? Okay, so download, exchange, anything exchanging, okay? So they give you something, you give them something, but it's very, very small, okay? It's either free or it's little money, okay? And then we have an actual customer. You get the point, right? So all these so far are warm leads. Obviously, these two levels are warm leads. Then we have customer. These are people that are actually paying you. Maybe if you're this mattress owner, they bought a mattress before, okay? Then we have repeat customer, which are gold, okay? We definitely love those repeat customers, okay? Those are people that keep coming back, okay? All right, those are like good customers. And then at the very, very bottom here, we're just going to mark it with a little star. Those are the premium customers. Those are the customers that pay top dollar, whatever your most expensive thing is, okay? Literally. Like, they'll come into your store and be like, I just want the best thing you have here. I don't care how much money it is. And this could have happened in any of these scenarios, you know, but this could happen up here, you know, anywhere up here, and they could jump down here. Yeah, they could easily jump. Okay? I've had people, literally, like I said, I've never seen them come out of nowhere, it seems, and they were following me, and they were watching me for my content, and they went straight to premium. They're like, $4,000, here you go. And they're like, I've been watching you for a while. I'm ready. I do this a lot too. So I know how that feels. Because there's a lot of people that I want to work with eventually. I want to actually invest in. But it's not where I'm at right now in the process. I'm not looking to do that right now. So that's just the way it is. Like, I'm just not in a place that I want to do that right now. I don't want to invest $5,000, $25,000 in their program. Because it's not my focus right now. That's it. Not because I can't afford it. Not because I don't want it. Just, it's not where I'm at right now. Okay? So literally, I'll give you an example of this. So I was doing a lot. Well, I was more like around here. I was around here at the time. So a coach that I was watching their content, and you know, I got a couple like PDFs. I got a couple free things. I went to some free events. You know, one day out of the blue, I heard they announced that they were having this event, and I was like, I want to be there. I want to go. I like that place. It was in Miami. So I like Miami. So I'm like, you know, how much is it? So I found out how much it was, and for a basic ticket, it was like 200 and something. I was like, okay, what does that include? You know, and I was like, okay. I was like, what's the next tier? You know, so I was talking to the salesperson on the phone, and they were like, well, the next tier is like $2,500. And you can go to the like after party, and there'll be like drinks and stuff and everything. I'm like, I'm not really into after parties. You know, I'm like, they're okay. They could be cool because meet some new people and everything. And I was like, is there anything else? Like, is there anything else other than that? And they were like, oh yeah, so, you know, we've got the premium, which the top tier was already sold out. They said, but they had like a lower tier, like a tier between, but still premium, right? So the premium tier was $10,000. Okay, this is for a 3-day event, okay? And so I was like, okay, what does that entail? And they're like, oh, you get a private room, you can talk to the speakers, you know, you get access to all the, not only the after party, but the special like hang out with all the people that are on the stage. You know, you have a private dinner, you know, you have all this stuff. And I was like, that sounds fun. I want to do that. So I was like, okay, sign me up, you know? So, you know, you won't know until you have that offer. Okay, you won't know until you have that offer. So make sure that you always have that offer, even some kind of idea of what you could offer when that opportunity does come, okay? Because there will be people that are just like, you know, sounds cool, fun, but that's not me. That seems boring, you know? That sounds boring. It sounds cool. I get to, you know, learn some stuff and everything. But, you know, if I'm gonna, you know, spend my time there, and I'm gonna invest the money in staying there, I'm gonna invest the money outside of my own business, I want it to be memorable, you know, so I'm willing to spend that $10,000 to make it memorable, to make it an amazing time, to make those amazing connections, okay? And you'll get people like that, okay? You'll get people like that. Like I said, I have it with my art. People want to buy an original because they don't want somebody else to have it. You know, they're like, I love it, it speaks to me, I want it how much? I had a lady come into my studio, and she was like, name a price. I'll pay for your hotel to drop it off yourself. Just tell me how much. I said $25,000. $25,000. You know? She didn't even blink. There's people out there. Okay? So, alright. Let's go ahead and erase this, and let's see, what time is it? How much time have we been here?
How much time we've been here?
Yep.
About 35.
35 minutes?
Wait. No, wait. 25.
25? Okay, we're rolling today. Okay. Alright, we'll see how much further. Alright, there's only really one more thing I want to cover today, so it might be a little shorter today. Let's see, let me go over here, because I want to save this other one for tomorrow, or next time we do the next masterclass, because I've got, that one's going to take probably a little bit more than a half hour. So let's go ahead and focus on the different types of content, because we're focusing a lot on content today. So I want to stay in that instead of go way off. So, we're going to stay on the content and like what type of content, how to do that, and why it matters. Okay. So we're going to stay on that and see how far we get. Okay. Again, easiest way to learn more, join Social Scale. Go to the actual .net there and go check it out. Go check it out. Also, you can check out my BIO for more information. So you can go there. Okay? All right. So let's go ahead over the 4 types of content. Okay? 4 types of content. Okay. Hopefully you can read that. Can you read that pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 types of content. We've got educational, right? This is where people learn. I'm just going to say EDU, and then I'm going to draw a book. We'll just kind of doodle it in here. It's funny, I'm actually a really good drawer, but these little sketches, like I have to do like last minute, are not anywhere close to what my artwork looks like. If you want to actually see my art, you can go to Amena, A-M-E-N-A, art, A-R-T. But yeah, I can actually draw and paint. But when I'm doing these doodles, of course, just these quick little things aren't going to be like picture perfect. Okay, and then we're going to call entertainment. Okay, so the entertainments, let's see, what's a good little icon for entertainment? Got it one, Ivan?
Movie theater screen.
But how am I going to, here, let's do like a little, how would you do a projector? I'm just going to make like this little thing like this. And like that. Okay, it looks like a telescope, but we're gonna make it like that, like it's on
You
a
gotta
screen.
add a roll of film.
A roll of film, what out the back?
Or on the top.
Okay, oh, like a reel? Oh yeah, that's right. Like that. That looks kind of weird. But anyways, you get the point. Okay, so the next is personal. Okay, so personal. Again, we're just gonna abbreviate this. Personal, I'm just gonna put a person, like a little stick. Personal. Okay, so personal. Again, we're just gonna abbreviate this. Personal, I'm just going to put a person, like a little stick figure. Okay, personal. All right, and then we got promotional. Okay, so promo. Okay, that looks like prom. Promo, there we go, promo. And promo, we're just going to put money, because obviously promo is advertisement, so because you're promoting your business or your brand. Okay, so we got all these different pieces of content, right? We're just going to make some lines down here so we can kind of break them down. So this is the type of content that you want on your page, okay? So we talked about niching down, but now we want to really talk about what type of content matters and what makes a difference, right? So you kind of want to have a little bit of each of these. And why? It's because you're building trust, okay? You don't want to just have everything be a promo, or nobody's going to want to follow you because you're like every day it's like an ad, right? Nobody follows ad pages. Oh, well, they kind of do. I mean, technically, I do have a review page that's pretty much all ads. I'm talking about different products. But they also learn something. But so that kind of falls into educational. So, some can cross-pollinate. Instead of just doing promotional, it can be educational promotional, it can be entertainment promotional, it can be personal promotional. So you can mix them. In fact, that's the best way to do it. Okay, that's literally the best way to do it. Promotional, when I think of promotional just like itself, I really think like an ad, okay? Like they just threw up an ad. Like say they're real or like a photo is just like, come to today, we're having this big sale. Or we're doing this giveaway if you save this and share it with 5 people. That is a straight ad. And this you want to do very, very little of, if at all. Especially when we're talking about personal branding and branding. Like, if you did something like this, it'd be like, come on Tuesday the 15th, we're giving away a free icy with every purchase. And you could do that, but again, keep it very minimal. And when I mean minimal, I mean like 1% of your content, like very, very minimal. Because people do not want to follow ads, okay? You have to mix it in with something else, all right? So, okay, educational. Couple different things that you could do with educational. You can do tips, right? So tips, like, give them a tip on, like, okay, let's do the mattress thing, okay? Because the mattress one was a good one. All right, so if I was a mattress store owner, tips I would talk about is the types of mattresses. What's the difference? What are they made out of? And how does that matter to your seat quality, right? And then we could show tutorials, right? So what would a tutorial of a mattress company has? Well, I imagine that mattress companies probably have some different like samples where they can show the inner layers of the mattress, because that would be interesting. I would love to see that. Also, another great tutorial would also be, well, I was going to say like behind the scenes, which we're going to get to, so I'm not going to say that exactly. Tutorials could also be, okay, what's a good tutorial for a mattress company? Trying to think what another one could be. Asking my son if he can think of any.
Like how to set one up, but like.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, how to set one up. So a tutorial for like how to actually make sure your mattress lasts longer. So you flip it, you turn it. You know what type of bed frame helps it support it better. That's a great tutorial. Good job. Okay, so then we got, of course, how to, which is kind of like a tutorial, okay? But, you know, you could just say how to and give them a simple, like, walkthrough, right? That's really close to the tutorial. Then we have frequently asked questions. So this is always a great one when we talk about content creation, because you could just ask people that come in, like, or take notes when they come in. Especially if you have a mattress store, but you can look at the people that's in your industry and read their comments and read their reviews. And that's a great way to get frequently asked questions. All right, so you might go to another existing mattress company page and see that a lot of people ask about like we'll make up a mattress name, the Sheila mattress. Everybody's asking about the Sheila mattress and why does it make it cool? So maybe it's cool to the touch, right? So what makes it cool? So you can address that in your content, right? Okay. Another one that's really great is anything that has to do with mistakes, okay? And you can frame that in any way you want. Like, okay, most buyers buy the cheap mattress that expands when they unfold it. Well, what's the problems with those? What's the mistakes that can be done? Maybe they end up getting returned more often. Maybe they, you know, like when they unpack them, they're usually like dented in, and then they have to figure out how to get rid of them because they can't return them. They can't just roll them back up. Maybe they can address the fact that they actually make sure you love your mattress for the first 30 days, or they'll come and get it for you. That would be amazing. So we address that, okay? All right, so then we've got behind the scenes, right? This is really great. This is what I was talking about with just a little while ago that I was going to mention. I would love to see, if I'm looking at a mattress, I would love to see how it's made, how it's manufactured, what's actually in it, what's the process, right? Wouldn't that be cool? So what are you actually sleeping on? You sleep on it like half your life, right? So that would be really cool. So behind the scenes, and even like what goes on at the mattress store. Like how do they determine the types of mattresses they get in? You know? So that would be cool. So then we got building trust, right? Build trust and authority. So what does that look like? We'll talk about the type of mattress you have. Why did you invest in the type of mattress you have? Because, you know, if you are a mattress owner, you should have a mattress that you sell, right? You know, makes sense. Okay, you should always own what you're pitching, right? Especially in sales. Okay, you learn this early on in sales. So when I was in door-to-door sales early on, I actually door-to-door sales ADT security systems. And my mentor actually said you have to own it to really sell it. And how true he was, because the first month I didn't own it. Like, I couldn't afford it. I had to actually like save up to buy it. And then I finally owned it, I got it installed, I loved it, and now I could really talk with conviction because I owned it, I could afford it, and I was only like 20 at the time. So, you know, a 20-year-old could afford it, so every time I came up with an objection, people were like, oh, I can't really afford it right now, or, you know, it's so expensive, I could say that I own it and have that conviction and tell them, like, how it actually makes me feel secure in my own neighborhood, okay? So it really matters. Own the stuff that you're selling, okay? Really believe in it. Okay, so yeah, that's going to build your trust and your authority, okay? Because you're going to be passionate about it. So you can talk about that in your content. Okay, other things. Entertainment. So entertainment is trends, okay? That can be cultural trends, what's going on in the news right now. And that you're going to have to make sure that it goes back to your main focus. Those mattress owners, the mattress owners in Buffalo, New York, you know, what's the trends that are happening in your local area? Okay, especially if you already have a local base, you know, touch on those topics. Talk about like, hey, you know, we just got a new mayor in. And we love our mayor, you know, and we've noticed that our mayor is, you know, been a giant part of our community. And we're going to be throwing this, like, this, we could say, like, throwing this little party to, you know, celebrate the mayor. You know, that's how you could fit in the trend. We're having this whole celebration at the mattress store to celebrate this new mayor taking office, you know. So find a way to incorporate any trends into your content. That's going to bring more viewers. That's going to also make them share the content, which is going to help expand out your business. Okay, then we got humor. That's always good. If you can make people laugh, make people laugh. People like, you know, some humor. Okay, so, you know, anything with, if it's a mattress company, humor could be anything really. What's a good humor I have for a mattress company?
Good humor for a mattress company?
It would be probably some type of skit, I'm thinking.
Well, yeah. It would be a skit.
Yeah.
To do with the mattress.
To do with the mattress, yeah.
I wouldn't imagine the store directly.
I mean, there would have to be, like, maybe something like I'm thinking like a skit where it's like a nurse comes home, you know, after a long day, and they lay on the mattress. It's like, you know, oh, it's so rocky, or maybe like you know how it's that one story, that childhood story, like the three bears and the Goldilocks, you know, lays down on the mattress. She's like too lumpy, and then the next one is like it's too soft, and the next one is like too firm, and this one's just right. I could see something like that. So that would be humor, right? And plus it's cultural humor, so now you're reaching a lot more people. Okay, and of course, relatable moments. So anything that you can relate to your customer. We kind of went over this about building trust and authority. So anything relatable. Talk about a moment that connects you to your buyer. Like I was saying, you know, for me, it would be, if I was a mattress owner, I would talk about, you know, the process of actually finding a quality mattress, you know, that I actually like, that's going to last another 20 to you know, 30 years without me having to change it. You know, because mattresses are really hard to get rid of. And also, you know, if I'm the, you know, the owner, and I'm like, hey, listen, if you come back and buy with me again, I'll give you 10% off, and I'll take that mattress, you know, and dispose of it. Oh my God, you would literally have all my business, you know, because trying to get rid of a mattress and then finding somebody that you trust to come into your house and is held accountable with insurance, that's huge, you know. So again, relatable moments. Okay, so another thing is storytelling. I'm going to kind of run through these because we got a bunch more. So storytelling would be a great one. Reaction videos. Ivan, if you have any ones that you can that you want to kind of throw in as an example, just let me know. Viral moments. You know, anything viral moments, or, you know, viral hooks, which is kind of like on trends, a little bit different. Then we got
what does that word say? Relator.
Viral.
What?
Viral.
No, the relator.
Relocate.
More.
Storytelling, reactions, relatable moments.
Relatable.
Yeah, relatable moments. Viral. So viral, it's actually like hooks. So viral hooks. Maybe something's going on social media you see, and everybody's like, you know, my boyfriend likes, and then, you know, does something silly. You know, you can use that first initial hook and like, my boyfriend likes, and then talk about your mattress, or talk about something that's funny with the mattress, you know. So, you know, you can use those viral, like, few second lines in the front to build a great audience for your business. In fact, there's a really, really viral, it's a sign company. It's a sign company in China, and they do this really well. So they cut off like trending videos the first few seconds, and it's usually something that's silly. So, for example, I'll just kind of make one up because I can't think of one off the top of my head. A guy pitching a ball, and it breaks a window, and then it'll switch over to the guy that's in the light factory, right? The sign factory. So he's in the sign factory, and say they'll throw a ball that kind of goes across the warehouse floor, and he'll pick up the ball and be like, thanks for the free ball, and then he'll start talking about his sign that he's working on. He's like, thanks for the free ball, and while you're here, you know, check out this really cool sign. It does this, this, and this. So it's really cool because it kind of takes that initial viral moment and changes it to lead the customer to know about their sign company and that they ship global, and they have all these really cool different signs. Okay, really cool. I really love his content, and he's just so creative with that. Okay. So, okay, now we're going to look at personal. Types of personal content you can do. And you don't have to do all of these. You really don't. In fact, just pick one. Just pick one from these three, because this can always be added on. Okay. I would not focus on this at all. This could be call to actions. This could be DM us if you're interested. We go over a lot of this in Social Scale. So you know, if you want help on that, go to Social Scale there. Make sure that you do a .net there for that, and you know, then you'll learn how to monetize your content. But the first thing in your funnel, in your trust funnel, is actually getting the viewers to trust you. That is the most important. Okay? Without that foundation, it's going to be so hard to actually get anybody to trust you to invest in your business and what you do, okay? Remember, it's all about the customer, okay? So personal, all right? So personal, we've got your journey. We've got daily life. People love to see behind the scenes. And plus, we want to build a relationship with you, right? So wins and failures. Opinions. So what's your opinions? What mattress do you like? What mattress you don't? Your values. And yeah, so we'll just do that. So that's a good amount. So we got, okay, your journey. Like, okay, what got you in the industry? Like, what makes you so passionate about mattresses and making sure that everybody has quality sleep? Maybe your mother suffers from a back injury. Injury. Thank you, Ivan. Maybe your mother suffers from a severe back injury or back pain. And so you discovered that a particular type of mattress was causing that. And so now you're passionate about it, so share that information, you know? Daily life. You know, you could talk about like how quality sleep has drastically improved your life. And why is that? And how is that? You can show like sleep results if you have those. You know, sleep studies, you know. So you could talk about all the types of things that you get to do with quality sleep now that you get quality sleep at night. You know, you can talk about your wins and failures, the types of mattresses you've had throughout your life that really set you up for failure. That was just like, hey, this gave me terrible back pain. I felt like crap. You know, I was sweaty all night. I had to buy a fan, and then I had to figure out how to get rid of the mattress, and it was just, you know, terrible. You know, so talk about that, you know? And then your opinion. Why do you like some brands other than the others, you know? People would like to know that. Like, they love comparisons. Comparisons on my review channel is like the #1 thing to watch. I can compare 2 different makeup brands, right? So right now, if you're following Amena Reviews, that's my name, AMENA Reviews. If you're following that page, you see that we do a lot of skincare, okay? And right now, we've got 2 competing companies that I've got some people that are team Dr. Malaxin. I got some people that are team Medicube. They both have very similar formulas and very similar packaging. So when I do a comparison between them both, I got some that are going to be like, they are all for Dr. Malaxin. And then I've got others that are all for Medicube. And I've got to like compare and give people a reason why I would choose one or the other, okay? For me personally, I love them both, but both the formulas are slightly different. And I make sure that people know the actual differences so they can make wise choices based on their own situation. You could do the same thing, okay? That's great when you do comparisons, all right? Then values. What are your values? You know, what do you stand for? You know, how do you relate to your community? That always makes really great content. So like I share a lot of building behind the scenes now, which I used to not, because my kids were younger. I'm only parents. You know, I'm very protective of my kids. So now that they're older, I do share more of that. How we're building a family business. How they are actually, really growing in that business. I do a little bit behind the scenes of them actually coaching people, them actually going on live without me, and how I'm proud of them. Because I am proud of them. So, you know, you should show those values in your content, okay? Especially if you run, you know, a business with your family, and it's something that you really like, want to relate to other people that have families. You know, show that you're very family orientated. Show that you have pets if you have pets. You know, show that you have a spouse that supports you. You know, show that you care for yourself enough to invest in a quality mattress. Okay, so again, that's all values there. So anyways, I hope that helps. That's the 4 types of content. So that's, again, you don't have to do all of them. You know, please don't overwhelm yourself. It's simpler than you think. Each of these can be like literally 7 seconds to 15 seconds long. Do not make anything over 30 seconds, okay? Now, I'm just going to go there with this and leave it like that. If you want more information, again, that is what Social Scale is for, okay? That's exactly what we teach in Social Scale. But just remember, it's .net, okay? .net there. But you can also find more information in my bio. So you can go there. You can get on with me and my team to see how we can help you and see if we're a good fit for each other, because I don't take anybody. I definitely don't take people that don't want to work for it, because it does take time. You're building an asset here that's going to last you forever, okay, forever. It doesn't matter if you're 20, if you're 60, if you're 80. This is an asset. You are building your community online. These are the people that are going to know you, they're going to love you, and they're going to trust to buy from you for the rest of your life. But not only that, it can even be your family too. So even after you're gone, okay? So again, I love, this stuff. I've been in the industry, social media, not so long, really only in social media for the past 6 years, like actually seriously. But I've been in technology and growing businesses online since 2000, since the year 2000, for 26 years now. I've grown multiple businesses, 2 to multi-millions of dollars. I sold 2 of them for multi-millions of dollars. So, this is something I'm really passionate in. I wish more people knew about it, okay? And that's why I'm here, because there's so many people that I talk to that just wish they could have a better life for themselves and their family. So again, if you want to go on this journey with us at Social Scale, definitely check out my BIO. You can book actual, one of these, or just go to the actual .net there for more information. Okay, guys, that is it for today. How much time is on the live stream, just to make sure, before I head out?
How much time?
Yeah.
About 50 minutes.
We're on 50 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, we can close out. That's fine. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next masterclass.